the Rangers are trained is in hand-to-hand combat. Your next narrator will be Staff Sergeant Farrar, the United States Army Rangers. Good morning. My name is Staff Sergeant Farrar, and I'm an instructor here at the Ranger Force. I've served in numerous light and airborne infantry units, most recently as a squad leader in the 25th Infantry Division. I'm currently assigned to Charlie Company, 4th Ranger Training Battalion. The average soldier, if trained only in use of its basic weapon system, may lose its effectiveness if you fail to fire or if you break or lose it. But with the knowledge of hand-to-hand combat and the confidence and aggressiveness to fight hand-to-hand, you will still be able to attack and defeat its opponent. We teach hand-to-hand combat for several reasons. First is an excellent physical conditioner and body toughness. Second, it builds an aggressive spirit in the individual and instills the will to fight. Third, it builds confidence in the Ranger's abilities and that of its fellow Rangers. Fourth, teaches the Ranger techniques to defend himself if he is unarmed and faced with an armed opponent. And finally, this training serves as the basis for the Ranger student to properly set up hand-to-hand training once returned to his unit. We stress several fundamentals during hand-to-hand combat, and the first of these is to use your opponent's momentum to your advantage.
Ranger! Ah, Ranger!
You notice my demonstrator did not attempt to match his opponent's strength, but simply used his momentum to send him in motion. During hand-to-hand combat, it's inevitable that the fight will end up on the ground. To defeat this form of attack, our Rangers are trained in the grappling techniques of Jiu-Jitsu. You notice my demonstrator is in the top or mounted position. From here, he's able to deliver various strikes with his fists and elbows, as well as apply numerous arm bars or chokes, such as the cross collar choke. As you can see, he's now on the bottom. However, he is still the dominant fighter. From here, he uses his legs to control the distance between him and his opponent, and is still able to attack, utilizing punches, chokes, and arm bars. Jiu-Jitsu originated in Japan over 3,000 years ago and was brought to Brazil in the 1920s. Through the tireless efforts of the Gracie family of Rio de Janeiro, it has evolved into one of the most effective forms of unarmed combat. Using Jiu-Jitsu as a base, an integrated system of fighting has been developed by incorporating elements of judo, boxing, wrestling, Muay Thai, marksmanship, and contact weapons training. As a result, we now have the Modern Army Combatives Program. The first thing a Ranger is taught is a good, balanced position. You'll notice that this is nothing more than a modified boxer's crouch, with the weight evenly distributed over the feet and the hands held high in order to protect the face or deliver a sharp disabling blow. This is known as the Ranger's physical balance, or the on-guard position. You notice when my demonstrators move forward, they ground. We encourage this ground because it disrupts your opponent's mental balance, immediately placing him on the offensive, and thus giving the Ranger a slight psychological advantage. The next two fundamentals we teach are those of speed and accuracy. With an emphasis on these two fundamentals, speed and accuracy will only be gained through practice. We teach the Rangers to utilize any means necessary in order to attack and defeat their opponent, to include the element of surprise. We also teach a series of throws, holds, takedowns, and counters. We'll now demonstrate a few that we teach. First, the right hip throw.
Ow. Oh. Oh.
The cross hawk takedown.
Okay.
The front leg takedown. This leaves my demonstrator in a very fortunate. The counter to the over-the-shoulder throw. The ranger may find himself facing an opponent who is armed with a knife, while he himself is unarmed. For this reason, we teach knife disarming counters.
Ranger!
Hey, this is fun.
One more.
You notice that the main objective was to gain possession of the knife. In learning knife fighting techniques, the first thing the ranger is taught is how to hold the knife. The knife fighter stance, the modified stance, and the vulnerable points. That is, where to strike your opponent with the knife. The counter to the upward stroke of the knife. Since the rifle with bayonet is more than likely the weapon the ranger will face on the battlefield, we also teach a series of bayonet disarming counters. The counter to the thrust.
Guys.